Goodbye, Tobey Maguire. Hello, Andrew Garfield. Here is the Amazing Spider-Man review. Okay, Amazing Spider-Man. We know the story pretty much already. Peter Parker gets bitten by a spider. He gets his powers. Uncle Ben dies. Peter Parker falls in love. You got blah, 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 blah. No, we know this story. Much of this is not new. Much of this is new. And in the last movie was Tobey Maguire, that Sam Raimi did, who was Spider-Man. And now Andrew Garfield from the Social Network is Spider-Man. This one's directed by Mark Webb, and this was a very good movie. I actually like this movie more than the Sam Raimi Spider-Man one, and I have nothing against Tobey Maguire or Sam Raimi's movie, but this one I like a little bit more. It felt a little bit more like the comic book. Peter Parker is more of a nerd in this movie than he was in the first one. This movie shows that he's much smarter. In one of the scenes in his bedroom, you see an automatic lock that he made, which shows how much smarter he is. And they mentioned that he doesn't need much help with his homework from his parents, so that's another way he shows how smart he is. I like the fact that his real parents are in the movie for a little while. That was very good. One of the versions of the comics, his parents are agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And in this movie, they're not agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. They work for Oscorp. Well, they worked, I should say, past tense, for Oscorp. Which, that's alright, I guess, for the content of this movie. That's good. Obviously, they couldn't get the rights to have them work for S.H.I.E.L.D. I love the new suit. A lot of people didn't like the new suit. I like the new suit. The old suit was great, but it was a little bit artificial compared to this new suit, which looks a bit more organic because it's looks more homemade. So that's great. Biological web shooters versus mechanical web shooters. I like mechanical web shooters better because it makes Spider-Man be more human. Where organic web shooters, there's no fear of them running out. I know they didn't run out at all in this movie, but they are more vulnerable. In one of the scenes, the lizard breaks the shooters, and in another scene, Spider-Man tries to use them underwater, and obviously they don't work underwater. Although I guess biological web shooters wouldn't work underwater either. Kirsten Dunst as Mary Jane versus Emma Stone as Gwen Stacy. Kirsten Dunst as Mary Jane was pretty good. When I heard that she was going to be a Mary Jane, I really didn't like the idea. I thought they could have picked someone that was a more natural redhead. And I guess to some extent, maybe she didn't really act too much like Mary Jane from the comics. She was more like the girl next door kind of deal. Emma Stone, boy, she really hits it as Gwen. She really got the role down well, and I like the fact that we have a Gwen Stacy with more character development in this movie than when Sam Raimi gave us Gwen Stacy in Spider-Man 3. She's just another girl for Spider-Man to date that is like a rival girlfriend kind of deal. I mean, both Gwen and Peter Parker are very smart, so that's one of the things that made their connection stronger, showed that they have things in common. Martin Sheen as Uncle Ben. I like Martin Sheen as Uncle Ben. The original Uncle Ben was great. He was awesome. just like the comic book too. But this Ben was, I guess, a little bit more of a father figure than I guess the other Ben was. Like maybe they were both equal. Sally Fields as Aunt May. She was very good. My only real problem with Sally Fields was the look they gave her. I wish they gave her more gray hair, because she doesn't look like Aunt May in the comic. And maybe she'll get more gray hair in the next movie. We don't know yet. But she got the acting role down right. The personality was picture perfect. Oh, Dennis Leary as Gwen's dad. Oh, wow, he was fantastic. He's basically the J. Jonah Jameson role in this movie, and he really does a good job in this movie. Oh my god, he is awesome. Flash Thompson is even better in this movie than he was in the Sam Raimi version. There's more character development in Flash Thompson in this movie. He's more than just a bully, which is great. I'm not going to say how he's more than a bully. I don't want to give away too many spoilers. I am going to give away some spoilers in this review, but not a lot of spoilers, not like the whole movie or anything like that. Our Kirk Connors actor, I don't remember his name. If I could remember his name, I wouldn't be able to pronounce it. He was great. He was an awesome Kirk Connors, an awesome Lizard. He did a great job. A lot of people don't like the look. They don't like the fact that the Lizard doesn't have a snout, or the fact that he doesn't wear the lab coat through the whole movie. I didn't totally like the idea that he didn't wear the lab coat through the whole movie, but I didn't mind it. It's not that big of a deal. The snout is not that big of a deal. If this is really what was his name? Dicko? Dicko's version of the Lizard didn't have a snout. That was I guess the first drawing of the Lizard. And later on, they drew him with a snout. So he doesn't always have to have a snout, I guess, because we've always remembered him with a snout. That's why we think he should have a snout. I love the darker tone in this movie, the drama. The POV shots in this movie, from Spider-Man's point of view, are awesome. It's just, it really makes you feel like you're in Spider-Man's costume, I guess. Now, of course, there's a Stan Lee cameo in this movie. I clapped when I saw Stan Lee's cameo. And now we're going to get to the spoilers of this movie, which is where I have the problems with this movie. I wish they had more of Spider-Man going after Uncle Ben's killer. They really don't get that resolved in this movie. He's searching for Uncle Ben's killer, but he doesn't find him. So that's one spoiler that I have to give that I didn't like. The untold story we were supposed to get. The untold story we get is mostly the untold story about Peter Parker's parents. The other bit of it, but whether or not Peter Parker becoming Spider-Man was an accident, that is not in the movie. They cut that out. And I was like, what? Did I miss that part or something? Because I know I did look away a couple times between switching on getting different types of food I had. But I thought I would have heard the Lizard say that, do you obviously think it was an accident? Or you want the truth, come and get it? And those quotes were never in the movie. They cut them out. No Proto-Goblin. There was no Proto-Goblin in the movie. I thought there was going to be one, and I guess they took him out. But I like the fact we centered just on Spider-Man versus the Lizard. Sometimes multiple villains don't always work. Sometimes they do always work. It all depends on how you write them, all depends on how much screen time you give them. There's a scene in the movie where the Lizard gas goes around and turns some policemen into lizard men. But then these lizard men sort of fade around to the background and you really don't see them ever again. And I'm thinking, what? You give us that scene and then you don't make anything of it. Why? What was the point of that scene then? It makes it pointless. There was no, I guess it's to show the threat the Lizard has to the city, but if you don't develop that threat a little bit more, then what's the point of it? Now, I did saw this movie with the same friend I saw The Avengers with, and we both liked this movie. Of course, we like The Avengers more, but we liked this movie a lot. I was walking out of the theater thinking I could give this movie a 10 out of 10. But now that I figured in some of the problems I have with this movie, damn, I have to give this a 9.5. I want to give this a 10 out of 10, but the problems I have where they made so many edits and they give you false advertising in the trailers. Damn, I wish they didn't give you so much in the trailer. They showed you way too much in the trailers anyway. That's my real problem. I suppose if the trailers just advertised what was in the movie, I would have given this a 10 out of 10. There is a scene after the credits, of course, but if you've seen the trailers, you've seen the stinger. I mean, the scene is actually in the trailers, so it's not like you haven't seen it yet. Which kind of shocked me that they put this scene in the trailers. It's like, what? Stop spoiling the movie in the trailers, please! Why not just show the whole movie in the trailers? So there's my review for The Amazing Spider-Man. It is one of the best movies for this year. I'm not sure how high I'm going to rank it as far as later half of the year. If I'm going to rank it at the top 5 or not. For the later half, we'll get into the top 10. We'll have to see how well the other movies that I end up seeing are going to be. But that's it. Spectacular.